Our physical standards suck. Our hiring process, our background sucks. Our mental requirements suck. If the only way you can fill bodies or fill holes is by loosening your restrictions, you need to reevaluate. So maybe here's a novel idea. Instead of having 30 people inside command staff row, how about some of you fuckers get out there and start answering calls? How about we do that? You want to change morale? How about you do that?
What's up, my PBM family? What's up? Another episode of Old School Cops presented by PBM. You got the most experienced squad in social media land. We got nearly 100 years of experience. And what I'm telling you about this squad, you don't just got nothing against just the traffic guys, the patrol guys, because we all started there. But what I'm telling you is these guys got specialties. We all work specialized units. We got a wealth of experience. You got a commander. You got a member of the Red Dogs unit. If you guys, you know about BMF. We got the old school, the OG of law enforcement, Mr. Ted Golden. He's been doing policing and making communities safer while me and Shane was in elementary school.
Diapers.
I tell you, he's been there, done that, he's done it. As a city cop, he did so outstanding. He did outstanding work. He took his talents to the federal government. He became a hell of a DEA agent, got a whole bunch of accolades. I mean, my guy knows policing. He knows the community, and everybody in this squad right here not only police the community, but from the community. So that gives us a little bit more of an understanding about the culture of the people that we're policing, because we are one of those people. This particular video, do you agree, disagree? Me starting law enforcement in 94, looking at it, fast forward, looking at it now, I think the standards did decline just to get those numbers in there. When I came along, the standards was a lot higher, right? So you had a lot more people wanting the job. The reputation wasn't as it is now. I don't think people want to be police officers no more. That's why they had to lower those standards, just to grab anybody to come in. And when you do that, you kind of water down that actual candidate, and you're giving them a whole lot to deal with as a cop. And then you wonder why you're getting the same result. So yes, I do think that the standards has been watered down. And what we see now is a reflection of just filling a spot, just giving somebody a badge and a gun saying, look, our numbers are down, just put them on the street. And it's not good. It's not good for the community. It's not good for the citizens. OG been policing in the 80s, right? So, and he's still in the community right now giving back. We constantly going to high schools, mentoring high school kids. I mean, he's doing an excellent job. And next year he's going to be running for sheriff. So I'm going to be asking you guys to help with his campaign anyway, whether it's knocking on doors, contributing to the campaign. We need somebody like this that represents the communities, that's from the community, that understands and got the vision of how to change the direction of law enforcement. So we're going to be around asking when we start the campaign up for OG. We're going to help him get into that office. This video, you heard my spot. Go ahead, Shane.
I got to totally agree with you. You got to think about it. You're a professional police officer. You're a professional in law enforcement. You have to look the part. A lot of times, if you're sloppy, you're not dressed right, you're overweight, the subject going to look at you up and down. It's going to be sizing you up, easy to take you. But if he see you're working out, you're standing up, you got a good stature, it makes somebody think twice. I remember being on SWAT. We had to run 3 miles a day. Our shoes had to be shined. A belt had to be shined. Your uniform had to be pressed. Stand at attention, chest out. All that helps when you are a police officer. All that, just how you look, how you present yourself. But if you're out of shape, that means you're not eating right. If you're out of shape, you're not sleeping right. Okay, you're probably not doing any type of extracurricular activity, as far as maybe martial arts or something physical to keep that going. You're gonna lose out. I mean, these criminals are not trying to get locked up, so you put yourself at a disadvantage looking sloppy. And I have to agree with you, Joe. I think the standards have went down a lot. What I'm seeing right now on the force, and I'm 97. I've never seen anything like this. Fat, overweight, sloppy, slow, and it's that old saying about eating donuts. It's like everybody's eating donuts. It's crazy. So We have to do better. You know, we have to recruit better, and I think that's why I love what OG is doing, Ted's doing. We're starting from the high schools and working our way up to that. So that's my take. You got to look the part. We're professionals. OG, I hand it to you, sir.
Go ahead.
So when I finished the police academy in 1982,
I was 10.
1982,
I was 10.
I got stuck on a day shift with a bunch of old heads. And one day we jumped this kid. He did something wrong. I forget what it was, with it, breaking into a car or whatever. And the old timer, he said, "Okay, rookie, get ready." And he stopped the car. I jumped out, broke down. I didn't have to take one step, because dude put his hands up and turned around and started walking back to me. And I'm going, what the hell? You know? So the old timer goes, "Why didn't you run?" And he said, he looked like he might catch me. Okay? So he didn't run because, you know, I had that defensive end look about me back then. 6'5", 235. You know, I wasn't that fast. He didn't know that. But he decided not to run, for number one, because he knew I might catch him, and number two, he probably would have got an ass whooping.
Yeah.
All right. So let me say this. When I started police academy, you had to have 2 years of college, at least. And the work experience wasn't an issue. You just had to have 2 years of college. I was a probation officer at juvenile court before I became a Memphis police officer. And what made me become a police officer was the fact that I got arrested. I got arrested for asking the cop a question. He put handcuffs on me and arrested me for asking him a question. He didn't talk about his mama, didn't call him names and disrespect him. He just wanted to put a brother in jail. That's all. And once he found I was a probation officer, he wanted to change his mind, but it was too late. Anyway, 15 months later, I'm a Memphis police officer. Guess who I run into at my old stomping ground at juvenile court? The guy who put handcuffs on me. All 5'4", 145 pounds of it. Okay? Right. So I'm standing next to him at juvenile court, and my old supervisor at juvenile court says to him, "You know that guy standing next to you?" And he looks up at me and said, "No." He said, "That's Ted Golden." Dude turned purple and walked out the door. Because now I got a gun and a badge too. Okay? It's a whole different ball of wax when you're standing there ready to do what you got to do. So I'm saying it to say this. You have to have some standards. So let's talk about the standard we already got. Joe, what did you play in high school? What sport you play in high school?
I played baseball and basketball.
Okay, Shane, what did you play in high school?
Basketball, tennis, and I ran track.
Okay, I played football, basketball, and I threw the shot at distance on the track team. Almost all of us who tote badges and guns, almost all of us, even the females, played some kind of sport. You know why that happens? How that transfers into what we do for a living now? Discipline, following instructions, taking orders, knowing how to be a team player. All these things are part of what we have to do to become police officers. So if we want to talk about the standards being lowered, the standards are lowered because we wait for folk to come to us. We got to get off our butts and go to them.
Yep.
Right.
How many high school kids we got that don't get scholarships to play sports? Scholarships to play sports.
A lot.
How many? A bunch. 200 kids in DeKalb County signed up for the military last year at 18 years old. They graduated. They signed up for the military. Now, I'm not going to complain about what's going on in this country right now, but there are a class of people that the military don't want right now. Guess what?
We can use them.
We can pull them. But we got to be proactive. We can't be sitting here waiting. It's not so much looking at folks in the office sitting there doing nothing and recognizing that people on the street aren't doing their jobs because they're out of shape. I mean, we all work with fat guys. Come on now. You know, we had some fat guys. Maybe not on the SWAT team, but out there on the street. You know, one of my partners, he weighed well over 300 pounds. You know, he barely able to turn the steering wheel when he drove because he was so big. But you know, that's maintaining standards. Now, let me jump to the federal side of the house. When I first became a DEA agent, we had physical fitness requirements. Every 6 months, you had to run that 1.5 miles, 2 miles. You had to do push-ups and sit-ups. And for your age group, you had to make sure that your time was down like it was supposed to be, and you got those push-ups and sit-ups done, in addition to firearms qualifications.
Yep.
But when Reagan came in, he stopped all that because it cost money. So the physical fitness requirement was no longer there. So you got guys walking around 300 pounds, being DEA agents. What can they do for you?
Yeah.
Ain't chase nobody. They can't get in no fights. They darn sure can't get on the search warrant because they better get through the door. So we have to maintain a certain level of physical fitness regardless. The thing that we got to understand is this, and this is where I'm hoping we're going to share some information with some local law enforcement folks real soon. We got to become proactive. Just like we hunt criminals, like we hunt drug dealers, we got to hunt employees. We got to identify some folk that want this job. We can pay for their education, at least part of it anyway. Get them some tools to make them smarter, and require some patience and some tenure. If I pay for your education or part of your education, I need you to stick around for 4 years, for 6 years, okay? Because we want you to live, work, and play right here where we are. You know, we got to be proactive instead of walking around pointing fingers, complaining about what folk look like. And that's just the way it is. And like I said before, if 200 kids from the DeKalb County school system signed up for the military at 18 years old, I promise you, we can pull 40 of them.
Yeah, I was about to 50.
Put them in a cadet program, and within 2 years when they turn 21, 2.5 years they turn 21, we can have ourselves at least 20 to 30 of them that are ready to be rookie police officers. And we can spend time giving them the tools that they need to be effective and not just throw them in a police academy for 20 weeks or whatever and then throw them out on the street, but take our time and massage them, make sure that they don't mind writing reports because they know how to write reports, okay? Make sure they don't mind being courteous to citizens. Make sure they understand what it's like to deal with parents that are struggling with their children in the homeless shelter, you know, or the feeding folk on the street. You know, that kind of thing. We gotta wake up because these are the folk that we're gonna see the most. You know, you ain't gonna be in a ritzy area all the time. You got to deal with some folk that want to act a clown, and you got to know how to act with them. But at the same time, be courteous to a point, and be professional. You know, ain't nothing worse than somebody who's walking around with the shirt tail hanging out and funking up your car with the fart they putting out. You know what I'm talking about?
Right, exactly.
But no, I agree with it. We got to find better ways, and we got to find ways of doing it efficiently.
Well, you heard it from the squad, man. This is for law enforcement. We always try to have a PSA for the community members. If your beef is with a cop when he makes contact with you, whether it's on foot or traffic stop or whatever, if you have a gripe, do not try to fight that gripe on the side of the road. The officer has the home court advantage on the street. Your fight is in the courtroom. Officers are getting suspended. They're getting charged. They're getting disciplined. And when I tell you it's happening more now than I've ever seen it since I joined law enforcement. And you've never seen this amount of officers getting criminally charged. So take your fight to the courtroom and even out the playing field. Be safe, and I'll see you next video.